Welcome back to Bank of USA Coins, the place where pocket change can secretly be worth a fortune. Before you skip this video, check your Jefferson nickels right now, because some of these tiny 5-cent coins have sold for thousands of dollars, and collectors are hunting them every single day. Today, we are counting down the top 5 most valuable and most wanted Jefferson nickels in the United States. First 1952 Gold and Jefferson Nickel USA wanted coin right now. Today, we are diving into a coin that looks small, feels ordinary but has shocked the collecting world with prices that sound impossible. The 1952 Jefferson nickel, a coin that millions ignored for decades, is now one of the most hunted treasures in American pocket change, and some rare versions have sold for life-changing money. So before you spend another nickel or throw one in a jar, you need to watch this entire story, because the next coin you touch could be a hidden jackpot. The 1952 Jefferson nickel was struck during a fascinating era in American history, when the nation was booming after the war, and coin production was racing to keep up with demand. Billions of nickels were produced across different mints. Yet inside those huge numbers are tiny mistakes, rare varieties and pristine survivors that collectors now fight over, and that is where the magic begins. Because value in coins is never just about age. It is about rarity, condition, and the secret details most people never notice. In 1952, the United States Mint produced Jefferson nickels at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint left subtle clues that experts study under magnification. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, while Denver coins show a small D and San Francisco coins display an S, and although all three look similar, at first glance, their survival in high-grade condition is dramatically different, which is why certain mint combinations command huge premiums today. Let us start with the 1952 Philadelphia nickel, because this is the coin many people still find in old collections and estate jars. The total mintage was high, meaning circulated examples are common and usually worth only a small premium over face value. But the story changes completely when we talk about uncirculated coins. Coins that were never spent, never scratched and preserved with blazing mint luster in top certified grades, such as MS66, MS67, and above auction records show these pieces climbing into thousands of dollars. And the finest known examples are considered registry treasures fought over by elite collectors. Condition is everything in the Jefferson nickel series. And one of the most important grading features is the strike quality of Monticello. The reverse collectors look for what is called full steps, which refers to the visible stair lines on Jefferson's home. When those steps are sharp and uninterrupted, the coin earns a premium designation, and that tiny detail can multiply value several times. A normal weak strike may sell for modest money, while a full steps example in gem condition can explode in price because supply drops to near zero. Now we move to the 1952 D Denver issue, a coin that appears common but hides surprising scarcity in top grades. Many Denver nickels from this era were weakly struck with mushy details, making full steps examples extremely rare. High-grade certified coins from Denver have reached impressive auction numbers, especially when paired with strong eye appeal and original surfaces. Advanced collectors chase these pieces because they know how few truly elite survivors exist. The 1952 S San Francisco nickel adds another layer of intrigue. San Francisco production was lower, and the mint often struggled with strike consistency, creating a fascinating mix of sharply struck rarities and dull flat coins. The finest known specimens graded at the top of the population, reports are considered condition rarities, meaning even though the coin itself is not rare in general, the number of perfect or near-perfect examples is microscopic. This is where prices can jump into headline territory, with elite registry collectors pushing values higher every year. But the real excitement comes from errors and varieties, because this is where ordinary nickels transform into legendary collectibles. Off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and die cracks from 1952 have all appeared on the market. And when dramatic examples surface, they attract intense bidding. A strong doubled die, showing clear separation in lettering, or Monticello details can command serious money, especially when authenticated and graded by a major service collector's pay. For uniqueness and a visually obvious mint error is a one-of-a-kind conversation piece. Another factor driving value is original toning nickels that sat undisturbed for decades. Sometimes develop rainbow colors, gold blues and deep violets that shimmer under light. Natural toning is prized by specialists, and a beautifully toned 1952 nickel in gem condition can sell for multiples of a standard example, because eye appeal creates emotional. Demand collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying beauty history and bragging rights. So can a 1952 Jefferson nickel really be worth millions? The honest answer is that only the absolute finest known coins, combined with historic provenance record-setting grades and extreme registry competition, could approach sensational valuations. The word millions captures attention. But the deeper truth is that these coins can still be worth far more than anyone expects, especially compared to their humble 5-cent face value. And every year new auction records remind the hobby that condition rarities behave like fine art, not pocket change. If you want to search for one of these treasures, start by examining any 1952 nickels you own. Use a magnifying glass. Check the mint mark, inspect the steps of Monticello, and look for sharp detail and original luster. Avoid cleaning coins because cleaning destroys value instantly. Even a rare coin becomes damaged goods. After polishing, the safest path is gentle storage and professional grading when you believe you have something special. Collectors around the world continue to build Jefferson nickel sets, and the competition for top registry rankings fuels demand for the best examples. Population reports show how few coins survive in elite grades, and as those numbers stabilize, prices often rise because advanced collectors refuse to settle for second best. This constant pressure at the top is what turns overlooked coins into blue-chip collectibles over time. The 1952 Jefferson nickel teaches an important lesson about coin collecting. Value hides in plain sight. History sits in your hand, and knowledge is the tool that unlocks opportunity. While most people see a nickel, serious collectors see mint technique, preservation rarity, and market psychology all colliding in a tiny metal disc. And that perspective is what separates spenders from treasure hunters. So the next time you hear coins jingling in a drawer, remember that every piece has a story, and some stories are worth far more than 5 cents. The 1952 Jefferson nickel stands as proof that patience, education, and a sharp eye can transform everyday change into a gateway to history, profit, and excitement. And that is why the hunt never stops for true coins collectors. We are diving into a coin that almost everyone has seen, but very few people understand. And hidden inside pocket change and old jars across America, there may be a Jefferson nickel that collectors are desperately searching for. And the year is 1973, a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but certain rare versions of this nickel can be worth hundreds, thousands. And in extreme high-grade auction cases, values can explode into the spotlight and surprise the entire coin world. So before you spend another nickel, watch this video carefully, because the 1973 Jefferson nickel might already be sitting in your home, waiting to be discovered. The 1973 Jefferson nickel was produced in massive numbers at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and because of this, many people assume the coin is common and worthless. But serious collectors know that value is not only about mintage numbers. Value is about mintage numbers. Value is about condition rarity, mint errors, and survival rate. And this is where the story becomes exciting. Because high-grade examples of the 1973 nickel are incredibly difficult to find. And when a coin survives in near-perfect condition, it transforms from everyday change into a premium collectible treasure. First, let us talk about the standard 1973 nickel from Philadelphia, which carries no mint mark. Millions were produced and circulated heavily, which means most surviving examples show wear scratches, dull luster, and weak strikes. A worn 1973 nickel is usually worth face value, but when you move into uncirculated condition, the value begins to rise sharply. Collectors search for coins with full steps on Monticello, the building on the reverse side, and full steps mean the details are sharp, complete, and not broken. And coins with this feature are rare because the minting process often flattened those steps. A 1973 nickel with full steps in mint state condition, graded MS 65 or higher, can sell for impressive prices. And when you reach MS67 or MS68 territory auction records, show values climbing into the thousands. And the reason is simple. Very few coins survived at that level of perfection. Collectors compete aggressively for the finest known examples, and registry set collectors push prices higher every year. Now let us move to the 1973 D nickel from Denver. This version also circulated widely and suffered the same fate: heavy use and damage. But again, the key to value is condition and strike quality. Denver nickels sometimes show weak details, and finding a sharply struck full steps example is extremely challenging. And when one appears in certified high-grade condition, it attracts intense attention from advanced collectors. But the real excitement begins when we talk about mint errors and varieties, because error coins turn ordinary nickels into headline collectibles. And the 1973 series includes off-center strikes, double strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and dramatic misalignments, and error coins are unique by nature, meaning no two are exactly the same. And rarity combined with visual impact can push values far beyond standard price guides. Some dramatic 1973 era nickels have sold for hundreds and even thousands, depending on the severity of the mistake collectors love coins that clearly show the minting accident, because they represent a moment in history when the production process failed and created a one-of-a-kind artifact. And that uniqueness is what fuels strong market demand. Condition grading is everything in the modern coin market and professional grading services, such as PCGS and NGC authenticate and protect high-value coins. A certified 1973 nickel in top population condition becomes a registry coin, and registry collectors compete for ranking and prestige. And this competition drives auction prices higher than casual collectors expect, and that is why a coin that once bought candy can now fund a vacation or more. Another important factor is ListRare Original Mint Shine is highly prized, a 1973 nickel with blazing. Cartwheel luster, clean surfaces, and strong eye appeal stands out immediately, and eye appeal is emotional. Collectors pay premiums for coins that look beautiful even among coins with the same technical grade. Storage also affects survival nickels that sat untouched in Rolls collections or bank vaults had a better chance of surviving in pristine condition, while pocket coins were scratched and worn for decades. So the hunt today focuses on old collections, estate sales coin, rolls, and forgotten drawers. Because treasures often hide where no one has looked for years. Market trends continue to strengthen interest in modern high-grade coins. Younger collectors are entering. The hobby registry competition is increasing, and certified population numbers remain low for top-tier 1973 nickels. And when demand rises against limited supply, prices naturally move upward, and smart collectors watch these trends carefully. If you want to search for a valuable 1973 Jefferson nickel, examine every coin under strong light. Look for sharp details, full steps, minimal marks, and bright original surfaces. Use a magnifier to inspect the reverse steps and check for unusual errors or striking anomalies, and never clean a coin, because cleaning destroys collector value instantly. The dream of finding a rare coin in everyday change keeps the hobby alive, and stories of surprise discoveries continue to inspire collectors around the world. And while most 1973 nickels are common, the rare elite survivors prove that value can hide inside the most ordinary objects, and that possibility is what makes coin hunting thrilling. So before you ignore your spare change, take another look. Study your nickels. Search carefully and respect every coin, because history and value sometimes travel quietly through circulation, waiting for the right person to notice. Collectors pay close attention to the reverse design featuring Monticello, because the clarity of that building tells the story of the strike. Quality weak strikes blur the columns and steps, while strong strikes reveal architectural precision, and that precision separates common coins from elite coins. Advanced collectors sometimes examine dozens or even hundreds of examples just to find one coin with exceptional detail. And that level of dedication shows how competitive the market has become. Another powerful factor influencing value is population reports. Grading companies publish statistics showing how many coins exist in each grade. And when collectors see that only a tiny number of 1973 nickels reach the highest grades, it creates urgency. Rarity becomes visible and measurable, and that transparency fuels bidding wars at auction, because collectors understand they may not see another opportunity for years. Auction history proves that modern coins can shock the public people, assume only ancient or 19th century coins bring huge prices, but registry quality modern nickels break expectations when two determined collectors compete. Emotion enters the room, and prices climb rapidly. And those headline sales attract new collectors who suddenly realize that pocket change can carry serious financial weight. Roll searching has become a popular treasure hunting method. Enthusiasts visit banks' request nickel rolls and patiently scan every coin, hoping to uncover a pristine survivor. The process requires time, discipline, and a trained eye. But the thrill of discovery keeps hunters motivated. Every roll is a mystery, and every coin is a chance at a breakthrough moment. Environmental damage is the enemy of value. Humidity, corrosion, fingerprints, and improper storage slowly degrade surfaces, and once original surfaces are lost, they can never be restored. This is why untouched coins command premiums. Originality is sacred in numismatics. Collectors want coins that look exactly as they left the mint decades ago. Coins collector family today. We are opening the vault on a modern coin that almost everyone has seen, but almost nobody has truly looked at closely. The 1998 Jefferson nickel. A coin hiding in plain sight. A coin people spend every day without realizing some rare versions can explode in value and send collectors into a frenzy. This is the coin that proves treasure is not always ancient. Sometimes it is sitting quietly in your pocket, waiting to be discovered. And today we are going deep into the secrets, errors, varieties, and updated market values of the 1998 Jefferson nickel. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will never look at a nickel the same way again. The 1998 Jefferson nickel features the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, one of the most iconic faces in American coinage. The design has been a staple since 1938, and by 1998, millions of these coins were produced by the powerful facilities of the United States Mint. But high mintage numbers do not mean low value, because hidden inside mass production are mistakes, rare finishes, and ultra-high-grade survivors that collectors compete fiercely to own. In 1998, the Philadelphia Mint and Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of nickels, and on the surface that sounds common. But condition is everything in coin collecting. Most 1998 nickels entered circulation immediately. They were scratched, worn, and dulled by everyday commerce. But a tiny fraction escaped into pristine condition. Coins graded mint state, 66, 67, and higher become a completely different species in the marketplace. These elite survivors can sell for hundreds and in exceptional registry quality, even thousands, because advanced collectors fight to own the finest known examples. Now let us talk about the coins that truly ignite excitement. The era coins during high-speed production. Dies, clash planchets, misfeed, and metal flows in unpredictable ways. And that is where magic happens. 1998. Jefferson nickels are known for off-center strikes, broad strikes, double die varieties, and die cracks. Some dramatic off-center errors showing clear date and portrait have sold for strong premiums because each error is unique. No two mistakes are identical. Collectors love individuality, and era coins deliver exactly that. One of the most hunted varieties is the doubled die, obverse, where slight doubling can appear in lettering and details. These coins require magnification and patience to identify, but when authenticated, they become premium collectibles, especially in high grade. Another prize is the full steps designation on the Monticello building. Collectors examine the tiny staircase lines under magnification, and coins with fully defined steps command major premiums because they represent exceptional strike quality. Let us talk real numbers. Updated market energy is driven by grade rarity and eye appeal. A circulated 1998 nickel is usually worth face value, but an uncirculated roll-fresh example can sell for several dollars, each move into certified mint state 67 territory and prices. Jump dramatically, auction records have shown top population coins reaching hundreds of dollars, and elite registry contenders can climb even higher when bidding wars erupt era coins. depending on severity, can range from $50 to several $1,000s, especially when the mistake is bold, visible, and certified by a trusted grading service. Here is what makes the dream alive. People still find these coins in circulation. Collectors have pulled valuable nickels from bank rolls, pocket change, and forgotten jars. The thrill is real because modern coins are still being discovered every day. Knowledge is your treasure map. Once you know what to look for, you are no longer spending coins. Blindly, you are hunting. When searching 1998, nickels examine luster first. Original mint shine is a strong indicator of value next. Inspect Monticello steps. Look for sharp, uninterrupted lines. Then scan lettering. For doubling, rotate the coin under light. Errors often reveal themselves through shadows and reflections. Patience separates casual spenders from serious collectors. Another factor driving value is third-party grading certification. Protects authenticity and locks in condition. High-grade certified 1998 nickels attract registry collectors who compete for ranking prestige. This competition fuels price spikes far beyond what raw coins achieve, which is why submitting a superb example can transform a 5-cent coin into a headline collectible. The beauty of the 1998 Jefferson nickel story is accessibility. You do not need ancient gold or buried treasure. You need curiosity, a magnifier, and the willingness to look closely. Modern coins are the frontier of everyday treasure hunting, and millions of people overlook them daily, while sharp-eyed collectors quietly build valuable collections from pocket change. And now, Coins Collector family, let us go deeper into the hidden world behind this coin. Because understanding why a modern nickel can carry serious collector value requires stepping inside the psychology of the market. Rarity is not only about age, rarity is about survival and demand. Millions were minted in 1998, but only a microscopic number survived, with flawless surfaces, blazing luster, and razor-sharp strike. And those survivors are the coin's elite collectors chase with obsession. Think about what happens the moment a coin leaves the mint. It drops into bags, crashes into other coins, rubs against metal edges, travels through machines and pockets. Every contact is damage. Even tiny hairlines reduce grade. This brutal journey destroys perfection, which is why a coin preserved untouched from day one becomes a time capsule. And time capsules command premiums because they are snapshots of the mint at the exact second of creation. Let us talk about roll hunting, one of the most powerful strategies available to everyday collectors. Banks still distribute wrapped rolls of nickels, and inside those rolls can be coins untouched for decades. Some collectors search thousands of coins a week. And yes, it requires patience. But patience is the currency of treasure hunters. A single high-grade 1998 nickel with full steps can pay for months of searching, and the thrill of the hunt becomes addictive. Lighting is another secret weapon. Professional collectors never inspect coins under weak room light. They use bright white directional light to expose surface marks. Tilt the coin slowly and watch how the reflection travels across the metal. Imperfections interrupt the light while pristine surfaces flow like liquid. This technique trains your eye to instantly separate average coins from potential winners. Storage is equally critical. Once you find a promising coin, protected immediately. Oils from fingers can stain nickel surfaces permanently. Hold coins by the edge and place them in non-PVC holders. Long-term preservation is what transforms a lucky find into a future asset. Many great coins lost value simply because owners handled them casually. Now let us explore grading mindset. Advanced collectors do not just look at coins, they score them mentally. Strike, luster, surface preservation, and eye appeal. Each category matters. A coin with blazing luster, but weak steps may fall short. A coin with sharp strike but heavy marks loses elite status. Balance is everything. And learning to judge that balance turns beginners into experts. Market timing also plays a role. Coin values move with collector interest, registry competition, and auction visibility. When a record price appears publicly, it sends shockwaves through the hobby. Suddenly, more collectors chase the same date, and grade awareness creates demand, and demand drives price spikes. Modern coins, like the 1998 nickel, benefit from this cycle because new generations of collectors can afford to enter the market. Another overlooked factor is population reports. Grading companies publish how many coins exist in each grade. When collectors see that only a handful of examples reach the highest tier, the coin transforms from common to legendary overnight scarcity. Documented in numbers, is one of the strongest price engines in modern collecting. Let us imagine the journey of a perfect 1998 nickel, struck with full detail, glowing luster, and untouched surfaces. It leaves the mint, gets sealed in a roll, sits forgotten in storage for decades, and then one day a collector opens that roll and discovers a masterpiece. That moment is electric. It is the moment history re-enters the marketplace and the collector becomes part of the coin story. We are opening the vault on a coin that millions of people have touched, but almost nobody has truly looked at the 1984 Jefferson nickel, a small coin hiding massive secrets and shocking values that could change the way you see your pocket change forever. Some of these nickels are selling for hundreds, even thousands, and rare examples can explode in price when collectors discover the right details. So before you spend another nickel, watch closely, because the next coin in your hand might be the one collectors are desperately hunting. The 1984 Jefferson nickel was produced by the United States Mint during a time when billions of coins flowed through American pockets. Yet inside this ocean of metal are rare varieties, mint errors, and pristine condition coins that have turned an ordinary 5-cent piece into a collector dream. First, understand the basics of the 1984 Jefferson nickel design. The coin features the familiar portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the front, a design that has been a staple of American coinage since 1938. The reverse shows his historic home, Monticello, a symbol of early American architecture and pride. These details may look common, but collectors study every letter, every line, and every surface for hidden value. In 1984, nickels were struck in Philadelphia and Denver, with hundreds of millions released into circulation, which is why most people assume they are worthless. But value in coin collecting is not about age alone. It is about rarity, condition, and mistakes made during production. And this is where the story becomes exciting. Let us talk about mint marks. The 1984P and 1984D nickels can both carry premiums in high grade condition coins, graded at the top of the scale, with sharp strikes, glowing luster, and no visible wear, can sell for prices that shock beginners. Collectors compete fiercely for near-perfect examples, especially coins certified by professional grading services, because top population coins are far rarer than the mintage numbers suggest. Now, we enter the world of errors and varieties, the true goldmine for collectors. Some 1984. Nickels were struck with off-center designs, clipped planchets, doubled dies, and striking pressure mistakes. These are not common pocket change coins. These are accident coins, born from split-second mechanical failures inside the mint, and collectors love them because each error is unique. A dramatic off-center 1984 nickel, where the design is shifted, can sell for strong premiums depending on how much of the date remains visible. The more dramatic the error, and the clearer the date, the more collectors are willing to pay. Clipped planche nickels with curved missing sections also attract serious attention, especially when the surfaces remain clean and original. Another hidden treasure is the full steps designation on Monticello, on the reverse of the coin. The steps leading to the building must appear fully separated and sharp. This tiny detail is one of the hardest strike qualities to achieve, and coins with full steps are chased. Tiny detail is one of the hardest strike qualities to achieve, and coins with full steps are chased aggressively by advanced collectors. A 1984 nickel with blazing luster and full steps can multiply in value compared to an average circulated piece. Condition is king in coin. Collecting a worn 1984 nickel may only be worth face value, but a mint state coin preserved for decades without scratches or dullness becomes a different. Story coins stored in original rolls, albums, or untouched collections often emerge years later as premium examples, and when certified, they can command impressive auction results. Imagine searching an old jar of coins inherited from family and discovering a flawless 1984 nickel glowing like it just left the mint. This is why collectors search tirelessly through bankrolls, estate sales, and forgotten drawers. Every nickel is a lottery ticket waiting to be examined under the right light. Market demand also plays a powerful role. When collector interest rises, prices follow. The Jefferson nickel series has a loyal fan base, and registry-set competitors push the finest known examples to higher and higher records every year as populations remain tight at the top grades. The lesson for every viewer is simple. Never ignore modern coins. Age does not define value knowledge. Does the difference between a 5-cent coin and a 4-figure collectible is often invisible to the untrained eye, but now you know what to look for. Mint marks, strike quality errors, surface preservation, and full steps detail. Start checking your change tonight. Look at every 1984 nickel under bright light. Tilt it, examine Monticello. Inspect Jefferson portrait and search for anything unusual. The hunt itself is part of the thrill and the next great. Discovery could be sitting quietly in your home right now. This is only the beginning of the 1984 nickel story. In the next segment, we will break down real auction results, grading secrets, storage mistakes that destroy value, and expert tips used by professional coin hunters to separate ordinary coins from elite collectibles. When high-grade coins enter major auctions, the bidding reveals how serious collectors are about condition, rarity, and eye appeal. A certified mint-state 1984 nickel with exceptional luster and razor-sharp detail can bring prices that feel impossible for a modern coin. The reason is simple. Top population coins are trophies, and trophy coins attract aggressive competition. Professional grading changes everything once a coin is authenticated, sealed, and assigned a grade. It becomes part of a permanent record registry. Collectors chase the highest graded examples because owning the best-known coin is a status symbol in the collecting world. Population reports show how many coins exist at each grade. And sometimes, the difference between one grade point can mean a massive jump in value. A coin graded near perfect is not just rare. It is statistically rare. Out of hundreds of millions, struck, only a microscopic fraction survive without damage bag marks, dull surfaces, or weak strikes. This survival rate is what transforms a common date into a condition rarity, and condition rarities are where serious money lives. Now let us talk about storage, because many valuable nickels have been destroyed by simple mistakes. Coins stored loose in jars rub against each other and create tiny scratches that permanently reduce grade. Wiping a coin to make it shiny is one of the worst things a collector can do. Cleaning leaves, hairline marks that experts instantly detect, and a cleaned coin loses collector trust and market value. Smart collectors protect coins using holders, albums, and controlled environments, avoiding humidity, fingerprints, and friction even. Touching a coin with bare fingers can leave oils that stain the surface over time. Preserving condition is not optional. It is the foundation of value. Roll searching is another exciting path to discovery. Collectors visit banks and request rolls of nickels, then examine each coin one by one, looking for sharp strikes, errors, and high-grade survivors. The process is slow, but thrilling because every roll carries possibility. We are diving into a coin that most people ignore every single day, but hidden inside pocket change could be a treasure that serious collectors are hunting right now. The 1974 Jefferson nickel. And what you are about to hear might change the way you look at every nickel forever, because rare varieties, condition, rarities, and mint errors from this year have shocked the coin world with prices that feel. The 1974 nickel continues the legendary design honoring Thomas Jefferson, one of the most recognizable faces in American coinage, produced by the historic United States Mint. And while millions were struck, not all 1974 nickels are equal. Some are ordinary and worth face value, but others in elite condition or with rare features have crossed into collector territory where demand explodes and prices climb fast. Let us step into 1974. America inflation worries, energy crisis headlines. And yet the Mint is striking billions of coins to keep commerce moving. The Philadelphia Mint produces over 600 million nickels. Denver adds hundreds of millions more. And San Francisco strikes proof coins for collectors on the surface. This sounds common and boring, but coin history teaches us that rarity is not only about mintage numbers. Rarity is about survival condition and special characteristics. Now imagine a 1974 nickel, freshly struck razor-sharp details, glowing luster-untouched surfaces preserved for decades. This is where value begins to separate everyday coins from elite collectibles. Most circulated examples are worth 5 cents, maybe a small premium, but a perfect uncirculated coin graded MS67 or higher becomes a different story entirely, because top population coins are shockingly scarce. Collectors compete fiercely for registry quality nickels. Coins that represent the absolute best-known examples, grading services record how many exist at each level, and when only a handful reach the top grade, the market turns aggressive auctions become battles, and prices surge far beyond what casual collectors expect. A superb 1974 nickel, graded MS-67 with blazing luster and flawless fields, can reach hundreds, even over $1,000, depending on eye appeal and demand. And when a coin approaches MS-68 territory, which is nearly perfection under magnification, the value can jump dramatically because the supply is microscopic compared to the ocean of worn pieces. But condition is only part of the story. Era coins from 1974 add another thrilling layer. Collectors dream of finding double dies off, center strikes, clipped planchets, or dramatic die breaks. These mint mistakes are accidental works of art, and each era is unique, which fuels excitement and strong prices. A bold off-center 1974 nickel, where the design is shifted, leaving a visible crescent of blank metal, can sell for hundreds, depending on percentage. And centering a strong doubled die, showing clear separation in lettering, is even more desirable because variety collectors actively hunt these pieces, and registry sets reward rarity. Proof nickels from San Francisco bring their own spotlight deep cameo examples with mirror fields, and frosted devices are prized when preserved in perfect condition. A Proof 69 deep cameo coin already sits in premium territory, but a flawless Proof 70 becomes a trophy coin. And trophy coins attract serious money because perfection is the ultimate scarcity. Now here's the psychological twist that drives the market. Millions of people still have jars of nickels at home, inherited collections, forgotten bankrolls, and estate holdings. Every time a high-grade or rare error, 1974 nickel surfaces, it reminds collectors that treasures are still out there. Waiting discovery fuels the hobby and hope fuels prices. So how do you identify a potentially valuable 1974 nickel? First, examine the mint mark. Philadelphia coins show no mint mark. Denver coins carry a small D. Look closely at Jefferson's hair. Monticello steps lettering sharpness and surface preservation. Luster should flow like liquid when tilted under light scratches. Dullness and heavy contact marks reduce value dramatically. Next, inspect for errors. Use magnification. Check the date and motto for doubling. Scan the rim for clips or irregular shapes. Observe alignment and strike strength. Unusual features are signals to research further. Never clean a coin. Cleaning destroys original surfaces and can erase most of its value instantly. Storage matters too. Coins kept in dry, stable environments survive better than pieces exposed to moisture or friction. Old coin albums, rolls, and envelopes sometimes protected nickels for decades, creating accidental time capsules that today feed the high-end market. Auction history proves that modern nickels can surprise collectors. Record prices are often paid not because the coin is ancient, but because it is the finest known example. Competition at the top is intense. Registry collectors chase ranking prestige, and when two determined buyers want the same coin, logic disappears and emotion drives the final hammer price. The 1974 Jefferson nickel teaches an important lesson. Rarity hides in condition, population, and detail. Not just age. A coin from the 1970s can outperform older coins if it exists in superior preservation. And that reality reshapes how smart collectors search through modern change. Every roll of nickels becomes a treasure hunt. Every bank visit becomes an opportunity. Every inherited jar becomes a mystery waiting to be solved. And that thrill is the heartbeat of coin collecting. Ordinary objects transforming into extraordinary discoveries. Think about grading as the gatekeeper of value. Two coins that look similar to the naked eye can be worlds apart once examined under professional standards. Microscopic marks, tiny abrasions, and strike sharpness. Separate average uncirculated coins from elite certified examples. This is why sending a potential high-grade 1974 nickel to a respected grading service can be a turning point moment, because authentication and grading transform a raw coin into a recognized asset. Serious collectors trust certified populations. They study reports. They memorize numbers. They know exactly how many coins exist at the highest levels. when a population report shows only a handful of MS-67 or better coins. The psychology shifts instantly, scarcity becomes measurable, and measurable scarcity creates urgency. Buyers are no longer guessing, they are competing with data in front of them. Now, imagine a scenario where a new hoard of pristine 1974 nickels is discovered hidden in original bank-wrapped rolls untouched. Since the year of issue, the market reacts immediately. Some collectors celebrate new supply. Others rush to secure the best examples before prices adjust. This constant dance between discovery and demand keeps the hobby alive and unpredictable. Another exciting angle is variety attribution specialists search for tiny differences in dies that create collectible subtypes, repunched mint marks. Die cracks and subtle hub variations can turn an ordinary coin into a catalogued variety. Once a coin is listed and recognized, collectors begin hunting it aggressively, and even minor varieties gain momentum through shared knowledge and online communities. Education is your secret weapon. The more you study, the more patterns you see. Experienced collectors can scan a handful of nickels in seconds and instantly spot superior luster, sharper strikes, and unusual features. This skill is not magic. It is trained observation built from hours of comparison and curiosity, and every collector can develop it.